Right now from the state capitol, after a long and complicated fight among lawmakers about whether it should be a felony to buy a 16 or 17-year-old child for sex. And now leaders in the state assembly are reversing last week's controversial decision to block the proposal. Thanks for being with us at 6. I'm Golston Dark.
And I'm Edie Lambert. Now they say the harsher consequences can move forward after all. KCRA3's Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala has been tracking all of this. Then she joins us now with the update.
Edie, well, to start this off, we need to say we have not seen the updated changes in writing, and the new version of the bill is not yet public. Democrats, though, say this will help accomplish the goal of cracking down on the buyers in California's child sex trafficking trade.
It gives law enforcement the tools that they need to crack down on demand, which is really what's driving the sex trafficking industry, and we're looking forward to pushing this bill to the next step.
Democratic Assemblymember Maggie Krell back on track with her effort to make it easier for prosecutors to charge a felony for those who buy 16 and 17-year-olds for sex. The Assembly's Democratic leaders now backpedaling after having the party vote to strip the bill from her and block her proposed felony. The harsher consequences are now back on the table. The newer proposal accomplishes Krell's goal of cracking down on older men who buy teens for sex by adding a third way to get the felony for sex solicitation. State law right now can trigger the felony if victims are 15 and under, if 16 and 17-year-olds can prove they're trafficked, and under this proposal, if the offender is more than 3 years older than the minor victim.
Every scenario that I've seen and every scenario that I've heard about from our law enforcement partners and DA partners, this would allow a felony to be charged.
We checked in with Assembly Public Safety Chair Nick Schultz, who blocked Krell's push last week.
Did public pressure then get us to this point?
Not whatsoever. This is where I wanted to be from the beginning. I guess I should revise my statement and say I can't speak for Assemblymember Krell or the leadership or any other member of the caucus, but this is what I have believed from the beginning to be the right policy choice. I wish it hadn't taken all of this and all this time and all this heartache to get us to this point, but I'm confident that where we're landing is the right solution for California kids.
Right as Assembly Democrats announced the update, Republicans began running these ads in the fight.
I'm 17.
I'm 17.
I'm 16.
Every day I worry about being targeted,
Some Republicans are skeptical about the Democratic reversal that may be more about politics than teen protection. Schultz said he has yet to hear from the Republican leaders with solutions.
I do think that members of the Republican caucus have politicized this issue, have used it for political fodder. You can see it in the attack ads that they're running, and I think that that's unfortunate. If Minority Leader Gallagher or anyone has a thought on how to make this law better, I have not been contacted by Minority Leader Gallagher. He has not even said a word to me on the floor about it. If he has a way that he thinks this bill can be better, come to my office.
So again, we have not seen this proposal in writing. We are waiting. We are just reporting basically what Democrats are telling us. So the Assembly tomorrow morning in the Appropriations Committee will make those changes public. We've reached out to Governor Gavin Newsom's office for comment. He has said he thinks this crime should be a felony. It's my understanding the governor is also trying to read through this bill before he says anything at this point.
So let's talk about the progressive Democrats who have been against the felony bill with this. I think a lot of people are curious as to what the opposition is here.
Yeah, progressive Democrats have been a powerful force behind this opposition of it. They were worried how the felony solicitation charge could unfairly penalize an 18-year-old who might be in an interracial or LGBTQ relationship with a younger teen, and that potentially parents of the minor who don't approve of the relationship could use the law against them. But again, the change announced today would keep the crime a misdemeanor if there's less than that 3-year age gap between the teen and the buyer. We've reached out to State Senator Scott Wiener, who has been a vocal critic of this proposal, for comment on the update. Nothing yet from his office. Again, none of this is set in stone. No guarantee this passes. It still needs to pass the Assembly, and then the ball will be in the Senate's court. And we've been reporting today the Senate was left out of this conversation that evolved into this newer proposal. So we'll see what happens.
One thing is for sure, nothing has been easy about this at all from the beginning.
No.
All right. Ashley, thanks for staying on it.
We also know that a bright spotlight on all of this has led to some changes. So good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.